You know, I think it's finally happened to me. I've become a boomer. I've become one of those people that I'm scrolling through the Tinder in public, and I don't realize it, but my flashlight's on. I've become one of these people. But even worse than that, I keep losing my phone. I keep losing it. I don't know where it goes. I don't know if that's a cause of the age or the copious diarrhea, but it's becoming a problem. So today we're reviewing a product. I wanted to introduce a new series to the channel called Pigcake Does Drunk Reviews. But instead what ended up happening is, I got drunk yesterday and I didn't record anything. So this is the first ever Pigcake Hangover review. And we're going to be taking a look at Tobias Dostal's Optix. Tobias Dostal's Optix. Now, just for the sake of disclosure here, Illusionist sent this out to me because we have a little bit of a relationship, me and Illusionist. We held hands in the playground, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Went to the movie theater and they reached into my my giant vat of popcorn, if you catch my drift. So they sent me a nice little gift here in the sense of Optix. However, it's not going to affect my review. If this was garbage, I would say it's garbage, all right? But instead, we're going to be talking a little bit about this and why it is that you should get it and why it is that you shouldn't get it. So first things first, what's Optix? Optix is a trick by Tobias Dostal, who's come out with a lot of stuff. He came up with Stay Cool, which is this sunglass apparition on your face. He also came up with, I believe it's called Silhouette, where you would manipulate a shadow cast by an iPhone light or by a light from a phone. And now he came out with this trick, which is, according to the packaging here, the #1 trick of Magic Live. Now, of course, I'm playing a nice little bit of B-roll here to show you guys what it is that it looks like by Tobias Dostal. It's pretty much you borrow a phone and you could then hand a spectator your phone, which is recording a video of you making their phone disappear. Here's the twist. They've been holding on to their phone the entire time. It's a little bit of an M. Night Shyamalan twist, I would say. A little bit of a swervesies. In my community, we call it a pumpkin head. That's what we call what you get after watching this trick. And it's definitely a wonderful effect. I loved it from the moment I saw the trailer. I was hooked on the actual effect and I thought that it was wonderful. Of course, what is it that you get in the box? That's what people were wondering. That's what Illusionist put a post on Instagram complaining about people that are trying to expose the methods. And you know what? I've been saying that forever, all right? I've been hating on magicians forever, saying that I'm done reading through the comments, looking at America's Got Talent comment sections on YouTube, and everything I see are people trying to figure out the methods, and usually they're all wrong, and it's terrible, and it's garbage, and I hate it, and I'm glad a bigger company finally put a nice little bit of a post calling out you terrible magicians. So what do you get in the box? You're gonna get essentially the gimmick. You're gonna get a USB charging cable. This thing does charge with a USB cable. I believe it's a magnetic cable, so it's its own proprietary thing. And also you get the box itself, that's it. The website is on the back of the box where you can learn the actual routine itself by Tobias Dostal, who by the way is a genius. When you actually look at the gimmick itself, it's very well made. It's very robust. I've already dropped it about 4 times. It hasn't broken. Now one thing though, I actually, there's a little piece that I had to adjust. I had to make it a little bit smaller for my my meager hands, and unfortunately I snipped off too much of the piece, so I ended up having to go to a local store and replacing it, which was a little bit of an endeavor. So be prepared to adjust and to buy something extra. It's not expensive, all right? It's available everywhere, so don't complain. Don't get your panties in a knot. You're gonna be able to adjust it and accommodate it to best serve your little dirty, disgusting, grubbing hands. But with that being said, it's a hard trick. It's not easy. It's not easy to do. If you watch Tobias do it, obviously he has the strength of 1,000 Thors, and he's able to accomplish the effect without much effort on his end. But that came with a lot of practice. So this is going to be a fairly difficult effect to do, and to do it smoothly. To actually do the main effect where you borrow a phone from a spectator, that's also going to be pretty ballsy. It's going to be well covered. And it's definitely going to be something that's going to be well within your reach. If you practice a little bit, it's pretty much mostly a little bit of sleight of hand, but the actual vanishing part of it is fairly difficult to get down consistently. It's something that you can't just open up right off the box and do it the first time you do it. But Tobias does go over everything that you need to know to be able to actually do this effect and do it well. He goes over the finger placements, he goes over how to cover your angles, and the angles are pretty good. They're not lying when the video said that it's 180. You can't have somebody behind you because they will see what's going on, but if people are directly in front of you, they're not going to be able to tell what it is that you're doing. So keep that in mind when you are actually performing or want to perform this particular effect. Now the gimmick again is very, very well made. I've already dropped it about 4 times, so it passes the Pigcake roughness challenge. The actual instruction is tremendous. So if you have any sort of qualms about performing it, Tobias goes over many different ways. There's one that you could swallow it. There's one that you make it vanish like this, you know, with this sort of standard. I call it the but I want this video to be monetized, so I can't call it the hands. I'm gonna have to censor this and call it something else. But you make the phone vanish in that way. He has another vanish that's just one of these, like you drop the phone. Pretty substantial. I like the fact that he's going over a lot of different variations on it. It makes it more than just a vanishing trick, or it makes it more than just the phone disappeared, which I enjoyed very much. I also made the mistake of eating a copious amount of Subway before doing this review. And every word that I say, I feel like it's coming up and it's gonna come out and projectile vomit all over the actual camera lens itself. So hopefully that doesn't end up happening. But case in point, when it comes to, and I'm also itchy. I made the mistake of walking to the place with the actual accessory that I needed to do to fix this. And I feel like I was too sweet because all the mosquitoes decided to bite my leg. It's gross. It's disgusting. Jesus, man. The sacrifices I make. Further, you guys better do all the things that people do. If you want to check out ways to support the channel, check out the Pigcake Magic Academy, or check out the projects. Check out the projects. A lot of people don't know that I have a couple projects that I've put out there in the magic community. You can check it out at pigcake.me. There's a bunch. There's a short card project. There's an impromptu magic project. There's a bunch of stuff you could check out. Very reasonably priced. Support the channel, support yourself, and prevent me from getting bit by mosquitoes. So overall, are you going to be upset? Are you going to be upset when you open up the package for Optix? Probably, because you're a magician and you expected some sort of weird contraption that will do all the work for you. But if you put the time in, if you put the work in, guess what? You're gonna have a wonderful effect where you're gonna be able to borrow a phone from a spectator, make it vanish, and appear directly in their hands. I can't think of a better effect than that. You see the accolades in the actual video itself. You see David Copperfield there. You see him performing to a bunch of magicians, and they're all just as astonished at this wonderful little bit of a method. The pocket space is pretty minimal. The actual gimmick folds, so you don't have a lot of pocket space. It's very easy to get in your hand. It's very easy to actually adapt, and it's definitely not what you would think it is. A lot of people said, oh, it's a delight. It's just a thumb. It's not even close to that. So it's something that you're definitely gonna have to work with a little bit to get smooth, but that's magic, all right? That's what you signed up for. So you need a little bit of work in, and it's gonna reward you in the end. So I definitely recommend it. If you're gonna be looking for something that's akin to the effect that you saw on the tape, definitely get it. If you're going to be someone that is going to complain about the fact that you had to put a little bit of work in to make this look as good as Tobias does in the video, then I suggest you skip it. As far as the price is concerned, I think the pre-sale price was pretty reasonable. Now it's up to $60. That's a little bit pricey, but I think with the craftsmanship that's been put into the gimmick, again, I've already dropped it. I think it should last a substantial amount of time. It recharges via USB, and that should be relatively robust. So I think that should be worthwhile, the actual price. But with that being said, there are some negatives here. There are some fat negatives. This is a trick that I would mostly recommend people to do at night. Why? Because part of the method requires, the light being on. And whereas the light is very bright and it's something that you could actually do during the daytime, it looks way better at night, especially the vanish, especially with the retention of vision. You're going to be able to do the effect that people do when they're driving with HIDs and they're coming against you in traffic and they blind you, and then you can't see the Suburban in front of you, so you tap it in the back, in a nice little back there. That's the sort of effect that you're going for, which is why it's best performed at night. You want to incorporate a little bit of that I don't want to say blindness, but you definitely want to use the light to its maximum capacity, and that requires the effect to be done at night. So that's just a little bit of a tidbit. Also, if you want to do the actual effect that he performs where the phone disappears, you do need a jacket. Nothing that is being manipulated inside or outside of the jacket, but you do need a jacket because there's a certain move that needs to be done with a jacket or a shirt over a shirt. You know, when the people wear like a little dress shirt over the regular shirt, you could do it that way. That works well, but you do need to have something that you reach into to pull out the phone. I don't want to say much else because then I get people complaining, oh, he's talking about methods. Pigcake's talking about methods. He's exposing magic. You need to buy the gimmick anyways. It doesn't matter, okay? You're going to have to buy it anyway. So even if I told you what it was right now, you're still going to have to buy it. You can't make it. You're not as smart as Tobias, all right? So don't give me that on Facebook, all right? You know who you are. So that's it. That's it. I would say definitely pick it up if you want it. If you like the effect that's presented on video, do it. I'm going to be reviewing more stuff more often because I've gotten my hands on some things. I got some Copags. Thank you, Jers, for that. I got some a hot trick by Jamber called Stasis that I put on Instagram if you haven't seen that already. So I'm going to be reviewing little stuff sporadically because I feel like it adds a nice little bit of a spice to the channel. And as unfortunate as it may be, most of my audience are magicians and are looking for some insight into magic tricks that are available in the market. So thank you guys. I'm going to go figure out different ways to use a bowel movement to avoid talking to women. You could find us in the garden like Spike on any night, encrusted in some ice that looked bluish in the light, Spanish on the mistress, Jewish on the wife, shooting like a piston, aim for proper distance, live from London, number crunching, drive gloves with some Asian bitches rubbing me with some sponges, expensive lunches, wages off hunches, I bet the dogs if I win, then the paper yours, pack your bag, wash your pussy, then leave, meet me at the airport, the plane is leaving at 3. She said alright, blew smoke through my nose, it's the talented young